Ooh, the scariest thing there is. Bleach filler arcs. Ooh. Spoilers for Bleach, excluding Iran Cars and Thousand Year Blood War. This video is going to be about filler arcs in Bleach. The Bounce arc is listed as like two separate arcs in a lot of places. I don't know why. That's just one arc. This is about these arcs: New Captain Trusuke Magi, Zanpakuto Unknown Trials, Gotai 13 Invading Army. Yeah, that's filler arcs. These are not filler arcs, these are just uncollected filler episodes. I'm not going to be talking about any of those. In my opinion, Aizen arc consists of 110, episode 110 through 309, but without filler. And it's not a bunch of separate arcs like a bunch of websites have and stuff like that. Fuck you. Also, I'm not covering Fullbringer arc because it's canon, so. Let's start out with the cosmology. We got the guard onto World of the Living, Dangai, Soul Society, World Palace, Hell, Waco Mundo, Value Screams. We don't need to know any of that because this video is just going to be focused on the Seirete in the Soul Society and occasionally cut to the World of the Living. So let's talk about the topology of the Seirete and everything around it and how it looks and that big ass fucking cliff. The Seirete is cut into 14 sectors owned by each captain, basically doing their thing with a neutral area. Here's how it looks from like a side view, basically, and then here's how it looks from a top view. There's over top. I found like the lowest quality screenshots I could find for this, but you know. And this video is mostly about this fuck ass hill, Sogyoku Hill. This is where most filler arcs end at, and it's like the only important place. So yeah. Part 1, the Save Rukia arc. You need to talk about this arc before you start getting into filler, kinda, basically. That's basically why we're doing this. So that's the whole reason I'm talking about this arc. I can't really just hop into Bounce arc without mentioning this. The Bounce arc kind of, it's necessary that it takes place after this and stuff like that. But, you know. Basically, Aizen leaves in this arc and he gets revealed as the true villain. Very important stuff. I consider this a whole arc, even though it's technically like probably like 5 different arcs or some shit, according to like most fans. I don't give a shit, you know. Like in Cell Saga, Cell doesn't show up till like halfway through, so it's like fuck it. Why shouldn't the whole thing just be considered the Seiruki arc, similar to East Blue in One Piece? So yeah. That's the Sogyoku Hill counter. Every arc that ends in Sogyoku Hill will have that. Part 2, the Bounce arc. The Bounce arc is my least favorite arc in all of Bleach. Why? Because it's 45 episodes of nothing, basically. It's bad. It's not good. But I'll try and summarize it to the best of my ability anyway. So the Bounce are cave vampires that were exterminated or genocided by like the Soul Society and persecuted from humanity, so they live in caves forever, basically. And that's why they want to go and kill everyone. Because they got persecuted from society, so now they want to go fucking kill everyone in Soul Society. So, really shit. Whatever. There's some like real world similarities with like stuff. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. But the real worst part of this arc is not the Bounce at all, it turns out, because the Bounce arc introduces these 3 fucking idiots. These 3 fucking dumbasses to the series. They are annoying as fuck. They serve zero purpose. They're supposed to sense Bounce. They're the Bounce sensors, right? They're the Bounce sensors. They're supposed to be able to sense and find Bounce. They don't do that. They don't sense Bounce once. They fail to do it actively. They really just don't have a purpose besides comic relief, and when they do comic relief, it's bad and it's not funny. So they have no purpose, and it really ruins the arc overall. But yeah. So the Bounce have weapons called dolls, and they're just kind of like talking weapons and stuff. I tuned out. I don't like this arc. Can you tell I don't like this arc in my voice? I really don't like this arc. It's so dumb. The reason I call them cave vampires, the Bounce cave vampires earlier, is because they live in caves and most of their battles take place at night. And it feels like they were really trying to go for like a cave vampire thing, because they're immortal, and that's the whole reason I call them that. Yeah, the Bounce dolls, I don't care. I can't be bothered to care about these weapons. It's lame. It's really lame. I don't know. It's bad. The best part of the Bounce arc is when it ends, and we can go back to fighting Aizen and the Arankars, but you know, well, technically we don't get introduced to the Arankars yet, but whatever, you get the point. It's when we can go back to the next arc. The best part of this arc is when it ends, basically. So yeah, I guess you could say that about a lot of these filler arcs, technically, because a lot of them do just cut away from the main action that's happening, and it's really annoying, but it's fine. Well, I'll be honest, when I started watching Bleach, I got to like episode like 70 in like 3 nights, and then I hit the Bounce arc, and then like I'm like halfway through the Bounce arc, right? And I just give up. I give up, dude. Halfway through the Bounce arc, I give up. I leave Bleach for like a full year or 2, and then I finish One Piece in those 2 years. And then I come back to Bleach, and it takes me like another like 3 years to even get past Aizen. I'm serious. I'm serious, man. It fucking took me forever to watch Bleach because these filler arcs. Mostly this Bounce arc held me back a lot and really made me not like Bleach for a bit. But you know, it really bogs down everything when like Aizen just left in like the most climactic moment of all time, and then you cut away to the Bounce arc, and it's lame, and the animation's not the best in this arc either, and the plot is like dumb, and Uryu just fucking lets the Bounce invade into the Soul Society because he thinks he's better at gathering reishi than them, and reishi's just like air energy stuff, basically. I don't think it was explained perfectly, I guess. I don't know. But it's basically how Quincy's use their powers and stuff also. But yeah. I fucking hate this arc. I fucking hate this arc. This is my least favorite arc ever, actually. If someone said, what's your least favorite arc in anime ever? I'd say the Endless 8 from Haruhi Suzumiya, but this is like a close second, actually. This is a very close second. I fucking, it's such a lame arc, man. I can't, everything about it, like, I think it's the first time Kenpachi like takes off his eye patch limiter, I think, for a fight, though, so that's interesting, if I remember correctly. And that's it. I don't think anyone else gets like new powers really, besides Uryu gets like a new bow, I think. Other than that, not a lot happens. But at the end, I think Ichigo gets his fucking whatever it's called, the wood badge thing. I'll probably put an image on screen later. I don't know. This video kind of needs to be out before Halloween, and it is October 30th, so that's kind of the deadline. So Gyoku Hill count 2 every time. Part 3, New Captain Shusuke Amagi arc. This arc is like kinda all over the place, but it's basically like, look, this guy's like obviously an imposter, and it's like, oh, this new captain guy's a little sus, and then he turns out being like super fucked up, and he was like persecuted or something, or his like clan was, and that's why he hates the royal family, and the royal family people also are here. I couldn't care for this one. It was only good thing about this arc is that it was short. Also, Captain Yamamoto is buff and like his shirt is off, and that's the only interesting thing about this arc that actually happens. It kind of just cuts away from in fucking Iran car battles and stuff, so it's really lame how it does that. And I think Chad uses like El Directo or something at some point, which is something he didn't have before this, so it doesn't like fit in well. A lot of these don't fit in well. Mount Arc like is able to like at least fit into the narrative a little bit more than other arcs, I guess. But this one's just in the middle of Iran cars and Aizen stuff, so it really just doesn't fit and is really out of place. But it's also about like the royal families, like three royal families, and like he's trying to like start a coup and stuff, but it doesn't really work out because they kind of just catch him in the act and stuff, and it's just like, oh, he's an imposter arc, and it's dumb. I don't like it. It was lame. Not a lot happens, but at the same time it kind of just jumps around everywhere, and the whole thing is just it's not my style. I don't know. The only good thing about this arc is that it's really short, but still it was still probably like up there with like one of my least favorites in this series, which is a shame because I feel like maybe they could have executed it better. I don't know. Maybe focus like less on the royal family stuff and like more on like the inner workings of like him as Shusuke Amagi as an imposter, and like actually like trapping things and doing stuff. Because he like does like a little bit of sneaky stuff, and then he like doesn't really do much besides like sneaking around being kind of weird occasionally. And I feel like it would have been more climactic for the fucking curved sword guy to beat him, because he's kind of like the captain thing, but instead that's not really what happens in this arc, and it's just kind of lame overall. I can't like describe boredom very well, but this one's like kind of down there with Mount Arc as far as one of my least favorites in Bleach. I've said that a few times now, probably. But it's like right now he's like at the end he has like a weird dragon arm and like a fire sword, and he's using like fire powers, and it's like Captain Yamamoto like already uses fire powers, so we've already like seen that type of thing before, and it's lame. I don't know. Shusuke Amagi's like whole big reveal is that he was kind of like fighting for his family name and stuff, and everything. But the thing is, doesn't really matter, because by the end of it, and by the end of this arc, he just kind of kills himself. Which is really dumb, because it means it was a real fucking waste of the arc. Because we did all this fighting, we did all this running around catching the imposter bullshit, and then it turns out he just fucking kills himself at the end, and it's like a fucking waste of an arc. And also there's like parasite blades and stuff. I don't know if I mentioned that. There's like weird parasite blades that like control your arms. That's kind of what happens to Shusuke in this arc. There's Sogyoku Hill in the background, but we're not fighting on Sogyoku Hill, so I didn't put a counter for this part, so yeah, damn shame. But this arc kind of takes place in the squad like 1 area, I guess is the best way to put it. It's the general squad 1 area. Captain Yamamoto's office ish is like, I don't know, it's like around there, as opposed to Sogyoku Hill, one of the few, I guess, whatever. Yeah, that's basically what happens in this arc. It's like I can't even, man. Like, the royal family like doesn't do anything. I think they like talk about having like play dates and stuff, and then I think Soifone gets like mad at Ichigo for trying to sneak into the royal family palace or something at some point. And it's really dumb, because like you should know Ichigo's like the GOAT by now. Like he fought like you have like a few arcs to back it up at this point, I guess. It's dumb. It's just dumb to me. The whole arc feels dumb. I'm gonna be saying that a lot, I guess. I don't know. But it's like, what's even the point, man? It really is just like such a nothing arc. It's like, at least they go to like the world of the living like at the start to protect the royal family princess or whatever her name is, and it shows off the one funny shitty flower Bankai. That's what I remember about this arc. It's very forgettable, very short, and it's like, oh yeah, your father, you didn't even like read the history right, dumbass. And it's like, oh, no way. Well, I guess I should have looked in a fucking textbook for 5 seconds or something. Real dumb. And it's like, oh, you're fucking John's son? And he's like, yeah. Well, I'm gonna kill myself. See ya. That's basically what he does. He just kills himself here. Look at this. There he is on screen, killing himself. Boom, just kills himself. End of arc. Part 4, the Zanpakuto Unknown Tales arc. So this arc is actually kind of interesting, at least when it cuts away. It's also kind of already next to some other filler when it cuts away, so that's a little infuriating, but whatever. Basically, it cuts away to this arc about the Zanpakutos. The thing is, Zanpakutos are the Soul Reaper's weapons, basically have been for all of Bleach. They've been using them, I guess. I don't know, watch Bleach. It's easier to explain stuff when I don't have to explain what a sword is to people. Anyway, so the Zanpakutos come to life in this arc, and it's very interesting and intriguing how that plays out overall. Um, and their goal is to like show them that they're like worth it and more important and stuff. And Muramasa's going for like an even bigger goal, I guess, than the rest of the Zanpakutos. But he's also kind of like living on borrowed time, basically, and doesn't have much time to worry about. Doesn't really have much time to like achieve his goal. And you can see him like coughing up like blood every few episodes and stuff. And it's just a really good like what if arc of like what if the Zanpakutos came to life and were like, hey, fuck you, and you had to fight your own Zanpakuto. That's basically what happens this arc. It's really good. It's a really entertaining arc overall, and as opposed to a bunch of other arcs. I guess we kind of like see Ichigo fight Zangetsu in like inside of his own mind world and stuff, but it's cool to see him fight in like the actual overworld, or overworld Soul Society, I guess, technically, whatever, as opposed to just inside of Ichigo's mind palace building zone. But this arc actually kind of goes hard because at Ichigo's first like real fight here, he gets to go hollow and just like fucking wreck house. And it's always fun whenever Ichigo gets to go hollow. It's always like insanely cool whenever that happens, because this is like, I think like one of the first, if not like the first hollow transformation for Ichigo, like full hollow transformation. And it's just really cool to like watch play out, because seeing like a new transformation in a filler arc that like never happens, but I guess Bleach is like a rare example. And he's like also still using the sword and like stuff too. It's really neat. It's just a really good arc overall to watch, and the animation's like not half bad in this arc. I feel like it's like really, really interesting stuff. But the whole thing also kind of feels like a what if fan fiction type of arc too. So I don't know how other people like that as much. Just depending on other people's taste, I guess. But to me, I really like this arc. It's pretty good. A lot of the Zanpakutos are interesting and have unique personalities. Some of them are just kind of dumb jokes though, and I don't know. It's kind of give or take, and then by the end of the arc just keeps going for like another like 20 episodes. I feel like the arc kind of drags on because once they beat Muramasa, the arc just keeps going. With just more comedy relief and like Zanpakutos doing stuff. And there wasn't really a point to that, I guess. It's like, just end it, bro. By that point, you just want it to end, and just cut back to like the actual main story that you care about. But, you know, God. This is a pretty good arc. Like if this wasn't in the middle of another arc, I would consider it like it could fit in the canon if it just wasn't inside this arc, you know? Or something, I don't know. It's interesting. It's cool to see how the relationships between things, between Soul Reapers and Zanpakutos in this arc overall. It's just really, really good stuff. Like, oh my god. Anyway, back to Muramasa. He needs to like unseal his own like sacred blade that's being hidden by Genryu Yamamoto. I fucking butcher old man's name. Old man Yama, you know. You guys know the one. Anyway, Old man Yama's keeping like his ancient sword hidden away, and basically he gets it back and then goes into the world of the living and then tries to. He actually meets up with like Orihime first off, and she like immediately heals him, which is really funny. Really funny thing to happen, but you know, stuff that happens in this arc. Oh my god. Okay. Tom, it's good. It's good. It's like the good type of dumb, goofy arc, I guess. Yamamoto's by far like the most serious filler arc villain so far, I guess, because like the bounce aren't really that big of a deal, to be honest. Like they're down to like one guy by the end of that arc, and he's just like 1v1ing Ichigo and losing really bad. So the thing is, Muramasa goes hollow in this arc, which is wild to see like a villain go hollow too, and then, well, a villain that's not like in a Rancor, but you know, like a Zanpakuto going hollow. Like, what is this, man? This fucking goofy fan fiction ass arc. I love this so much. It's so good. And the final battle of this arc is just a long, like, few episodes thing where he has to like summon a giant orb, and then like a bunch of Menos Grandes appear, and stuff like that. it's fucking, and he summons like an orb, and he's trying to like, you know, kill everyone, show Zanpakutos are better or whatever. It's, you know, it's easier to understand the motives of this guy as opposed to like the last two villains, I guess. I guess the bounce motives are pretty simple to understand too, but debatable, I guess, to some. And the final arc just like ends with them fighting inside like Ichigo's dream world. He's like the only person that like goes inside of like Ichigo's mind and like fights him and stuff. It's just, which is just a really cool thing. Yeah, that you don't see like other villains do a lot in Bleach, I guess. It's weird to see like a battle inside of that like weird tower world in his head and stuff. It's like it's covered in water and flooded and stuff. And it's just a good arc overall, but sadly it does not end at Sogyoku Hill, and therefore we can't put a Sogyoku Hill counter here, so that sucks. But yeah, overall pretty good arc. I'd give like a 9 out of 10 filler. Part 5, the Gote 13 Invading Army arc, also known as the fucking clone Gigai arc, I guess. That's what I call it in my head. Okay, so this arc's probably the one I'm gonna gush about the longest because it is probably my favorite arc, filler arc in Bleach that there is. It's really good. It's like I really like this arc a lot. It has like a bit of a slow start to it, but overall I love it. It just feels good. It's just a really feel good arc. And it's like it has like sad moments and stuff, and it has like highs and lows. And it's like the most engaging it's one of the most engaging filler arcs in Bleach for sure. Which, you know, not saying like a whole lot technically, because I mean by comparison we have like other arcs that we talked about have not been good. But you know, yeah. So instead of fighting their own Zanpakutos this arc, everyone kind of gets to fight themselves, because this guy makes, Kagerosa makes different like Gigais that are like their own. They're basically clones. They're clones. Like, let's be honest. Like, this is a clone arc. It's really fun. It's a fun clone arc. I like it. It's not bad. The mod souls, yeah. Good stuff. And it really goes into like the creation of mod souls and everything like that. and it's interesting. It's interesting stuff. It's good. It's the one time you get to see Kenpachi fight Kenpachi, so it's good stuff. You never see that. If you told me like 6 years ago that there'd be an arc in the future where Kenpachi fights Kenpachi, I'm like, that's crazy, dude. Back when I started Bleach, I guess. But you know, also Ichigo goes hollow again this arc. Great stuff. I love whenever Ichigo goes hollow. It's always entertaining to see. It's kind of like a different hollow form each time. It feels like this doesn't feel the same as like when he went hollow in fucking like it's different from when he went hollow against the Iran cars. It's different from when he went hollow against fucking Muramasa and stuff, you know. And seeing people fight themselves, it's like, oh, everyone has like their own fault. They can do Hado without incantations and stuff too. And yeah, it's a good arc. It's a good arc. And the one part where fucking scientist guy, fucking what's his name? Whatever. You know the one, Myri. Yeah. He fucking like just puts on blue contact lenses and fucking tricks Kagerosa and just walks up to him and stabs him. Dude, fucking goated. Insanely good. There's one bad part at the end, and it's when they talk about like Kagerosa's backstory and everything, and it's like, oh, he's doing this because he doesn't have friends. And it's like, this is dumb. That's dumb. That's such a dumb thing. Oh yeah, he's doing all this because he was an outcast socially, and he didn't have any friends. That's why he does this. It's really dumb. They kind of just throw that in like the last few episodes, I guess. Which, you know, sure. At first it's about like fusing back together with the girl. Fuck, what's her name? Girl Kagerosa. We'll just say Girl Kagerosa. And seeing Kagerosa fight Girl Kagerosa, good stuff. Good, it's good stuff. And this arc kind of tries to redeem Kone's character a bit too. That's a really interesting thing about this arc. Because for most of Bleach, Kone's just kind of like a background character for one, and second of all, just like a massive like pervert weirdo character. And they don't do anything with him. He's just dumb. He's a really dumb character, and he ruins a lot of Bleach and makes me want to not watch Bleach half the time. But you know, this arc really tries to redeem his character, give him some more character, friendship, stuff like that. You know, interesting stuff. I love this arc right now. Like it's pretty good. There are some flaws though that I do have. If it were up to me, if I had the ability to make like mod souls and stuff, and I'd just make like 50 Kenpachis and then send them out on the horde and then win. I feel like that's probably the better option. Is just sending out like 50 billion Kenpachis. I don't know why he didn't do that. That seems like a better choice in my opinion. But you know, good stuff. And God, this arc's animated really well. There's a part where, and it's also really focused around Ichigo's losing his Soul Reaper abilities, and kind of goes into the next arc a little bit with everything. But yeah, so it's good stuff. It's really good. Ichigo has to like go through the fucking precipice world and go through inside the cleaner to get his like powers back and stuff, and then Kone has to like make a mod soul in like the lab, and then make a mod soul like with his Soul Reaper powers inside of it and feed it to him. And the captains all like play out an interesting battle where they all just try to like stand in a circle, and it's like, you guys can't attack us if we're standing in a circle, which is a really dumb, like, logic thing that they pull, like they're fucking AI villains or something. It's really, really funny. It's like, oh yeah, you guys can't attack us if we stand together. It's so dumb. And everyone's has a hard time fighting Kagerosa because his ability is like really interesting. He can like warp space and stuff with his Zanpakuto, Bankai, whatever. And the only one who really gets through to him is like Ryu, kinda a little bit when he like captures him. But then it's like, I tricked you, and he's like, you didn't notice the truth. I'm Ryu. I have nerd glasses. Check this out. And then he fucking hits him with the fucking soul beam. God. Ichigo is like really helpless for most of this arc though, and it's really interesting because like Ichigo's not helpless for a lot of Bleach in the way he is in this arc, because he just doesn't have his soul reaper powers for like most of it, which is interesting, you know, because like usually say Dragon Ball or something, let's use Dragon Ball as an example. In Dragon Ball they usually like keep Goku away from stuff because he'll carry, and they try to like actively keep him out of the plot because they made him overpowered. That's kind of what this arc does with Ichigo till like the very end, where he regains his powers basically. That's how I feel about this arc and the way it works overall. But even without his powers, he's still like willing to fight and like walk up to Kagerosa, and he's not like a bitch about it, you know? Like he's a fucking like true protagonist, like through and through. Just keeps on fighting no matter what, even though he doesn't have any powers. It's good stuff. I also didn't really get to talk about Girl Kagerosa's ability. Her ability is basically countering like anything, and that's kind of what Kagerosa does too, to some extent, with his powers, and more so infused Kagerosa, I guess, a little more, because, you know, it's both of them together. But, you know, it's good. It's good stuff. And the whole thing is that they're both like mod souls, and I feel like that's something Bleach filler does really well, is making new villains based on like a whole new class of things. Like mod souls are barely discussed. Like the only part they're discussed at is with the shitty bounce sensors and Cone, and they don't do anything. So for most of Bleach, Cone carries a lot in this arc. Actually, Cone does a lot. Like I'm not gonna pretend Cone doesn't do a lot this arc. It's good. It's good stuff. Basically, they're both mod souls, and they don't really figure this out till like a bit later in the arc, I guess, because she's kind of just standoffish, and she's like, I don't need you guys' help, I should just die so that he can't fuse back and stuff like that. And it's like, no, we like you, you're cool, don't kill yourself. God. So yeah, the actual overarching story of mod souls is kind of interesting, and at one point Kagerosa like uses another mod soul to like take damage for him from Mayuri's poison. That's a really cool moment. I wasn't expecting, and it really gives a lot more insight to the whole mod soul lore and everything with them, because they don't really explain it very, very well, in my opinion, in early Bleach and stuff, but it goes in depth and gives lore, I guess, yeah, but what I've been saying. And then they're all able to kind of like gang up on Kagerosa, because they're all working together, and he's like, you can't have friends, what the fuck? God. Kagerosa's like a really good like character design too. I really like his fucking character design. It's very basic, I guess, compared to like other Bleach villains, I guess. Well, not really. I guess the Bount design was the most basic, and then Zanpakuto toe design was like interesting. Shusuke was also pretty basic for the most part, you know. But it's cool. It works. And then Ichigo just like raw as fuck grabs fucking his Zanpakuto, swings at him with a full force fucking Getsuga Tensho. This shit is insane. It's so good what they hit this man with. They hit this man with so much, and then like she's like fighting back inside of him, and that's animated really well. And oh my god, it's a really good arc. It's really good. And then he like keeps fighting to the very end, and the music gets like sad too once it gets to like the end of the fight. But before that, he like activates this fucking super barrier, and then all the mod souls are like, "This is fucked up, dude. This is fucked up. You can't be activating super barriers. This is gonna like kill everyone. It's messed up. You can't do that. Look at this shit. That shit's insane. That shit's huge. Oh my god. It's like he's gonna absorb all the reishi and kill everyone. Suicide bomb, fucking ultra nuke mode on this guy. Crazy. And then all the mod souls are like, yeah, we didn't agree to this. We're gonna fucking go back and fucking fight against his barrier and shit. And then Ichigo's like fighting at it from the outside, and then like she's Girl Kagerosa's fighting at him from the inside. Oh my god, it's good. It's a good arc. It's a really good arc. Oh my god. Okay. It's like, this wasn't a part of the plan. And then they all fucking teleport away, go up there, fucking kill them. They all kill themselves here just to fucking try and stop Kagerosa. It's good stuff. It's good. It's a really good arc. I like this arc so much. Oh my god. This arc doesn't drag on for too long. It has like the best like filler. It has really good filler arc pacing as opposed to other filler arcs, I guess. For the most part, the beginning's like maybe a little slow, but not too much. And this like final battle 1v1 they do is really like my favorite here. It's really good stuff. Just the way they fight, like Kagerosa's like fighting with like nothing left. He's just using like his shitty fucking tiny blade to try and fight back. Oh god, so good. Damn shame the arc has to end with them both just like dying like this and fading away, you know. It's a damn shame that has to end like that, but it's so good. It's such a good arc. Oh my god. And then Koen's character gets redeemed, kinda. It really made me feel more compassion for Koen than I've felt in the entire series, which is, you know, more than I could say for a lot of it, I guess. Yeah. And that's the final battle on Togyoku Hill. So that's Bleach. So yeah, in conclusion, this arc's all these arcs are interesting in some way at least, and I don't feel like you should skip filler, I guess. It's kind of a message in this video at the same time, even though I'd say I might hate some things, but you know. In conclusion, still good stuff throughout, and then just a lot of interesting arcs. But the real takeaway from this is that there's like okay, so let's count the arcs in Bleach. We got Save Rukia arc 1, Bount arc 2, Aizen arc 3, and then Shusuke Magi 4. No wait, Zanbaku Trials 5, Gotai 13, Invading Army 6. Out of those 6 arcs, oh wait, Fullbringer arc 7. Out of those 7 arcs in the original Bleach run, about half of them end at Sogyoku Hill, which is interesting. I don't know if I'll be honest, I'm not all the way caught up with Bleach. I'm still at Fullbringer arc right now. I want to catch up before 1,000 Year Blood War ends. I'll bet that those two probably don't end at Sogyoku Hill, but it'd be really funny if they did, and I had to make an addendum to this video later once I finish. But I have to get this video out before Halloween. It's kind of like a Halloween upload. Soul Reapers, vampire arc, you know. It's not too Halloween themed overall, but still, I feel like it's still a Halloween episode. I know I did a Halloween episode like midway through the month earlier about like scary sodas, but that one didn't feel as good. It was really short. And I've always wanted to kind of just talk about Bleach, I guess, and I haven't really had the chance to do that yet. I've got my like Kagurabachi video, I've got my Berserk video, I've got like a few old like One Piece videos out recently. I got a few old One Piece videos out. I got the other ones out recently, but you know. And I don't really have anything to say about like Dragon Ball that you haven't heard 1,000 times over. I don't have much to say about like One Piece that you haven't heard 1,000 times over. Bleach, I feel like is where I have like some more opinionated stances as opposed to things with, and same with like Berserk and Kagurabachi, I guess, whatever. Even though Kagurabachi is more of like a T-Rev video, it's a special guest feature video, but still, whatever. Kind of just let him go off the rails with that. But that's my Bleach video. Have a happy Halloween. This conclusion's going on for too long. I'm gonna say peace out, and hope I can get this out before Halloween. So yeah, or whatever. Peace.